We all want to believe that Syracuse already has a tournament caliber roster, but there's more work to do.
You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Locked On Syracuse. I'm Jackson Holzer, and thank you for making us your first listen of every single day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And on this week's Poll Friday, I asked you all the question point blank. Does Syracuse basketball right now, at this point in time, have an NCAA tournament caliber roster? Let's dive right into it. As of this moment, it is Friday, April 11th, and I am recording this at 2:27 p.m. Eastern, so these numbers are subject to change. Syracuse could make an addition within the next 3.5 hours by the time this is posted. But as of this moment, Syracuse has 10 scholarship players on its roster, meaning they have 5 open scholarships remaining. So even though they've already made 4 portal additions, and even if you believe that Syracuse already has a tournament caliber roster, there is still more time and flexibility for this team to get even stronger because it's still early in the offseason. Now, to summarize, they kept 2 players, and they were the most important players to keep this offseason. JJ Starling and Donnie Freeman are back for Syracuse. They've made 4 portal additions: Naithan George and Ibrahim Soare from Georgia Tech, Nate Kingz from Oregon State, and William Kyle from UCLA. All of those players all have their own mini podcasts or full podcasts, so you can check them all out when you are done watching or listening to this podcast. As far as who Syracuse has lost on its roster, well, everyone not named JJ Starling and Donnie Freeman. They also have 4 freshmen so far coming in. They have Steve White, Kyan Anthony, Luke Fennell, and Aaron Womack. Before we get into the results of does Syracuse have an NCAA tournament caliber roster or not, I asked a couple of poll questions yesterday about JJ Starling to gauge the fan base on him. I just wanted to gauge it, okay? And I'm warning you all right now. I'm warning you. The results do not add up here. I'm just warning you all, okay? I will explain in just a moment. The majority of you voted that JJ Starling is the best player on Syracuse's roster right now at this very moment. Okay, fine. Not going to say whether I agree or disagree with that. That's how you all felt. All right? The majority of you all also voted that JJ Starling is not good enough to be the best player on an NCAA tournament team. But then, when we get to the results of this poll, there were over 500 votes, and 55% of you all believe that Syracuse already has an NCAA tournament caliber roster. To quote the movie The Big Short, it's like saying 1 + 1 = fish. The results just do not add up because, again, I ran a couple of polls. Granted, it's not the entire Syracuse fan base, and I'm not speaking for everyone here. It's just the majority of people that voted in these polls. But you all said JJ Starling is Syracuse's best player. JJ Starling is not good enough to be the best player on a tournament team, but yet the majority of you all still believe that Syracuse is a tournament team. Which leads me back to what I said at the very top of the mini podcast here. We all want to believe that Syracuse has an NCAA tournament roster. We all believe it because we all want to, because I'm a Syracuse fan, Syracuse alum. Many of you all who are watching or listening are Syracuse fans and a Syracuse alum. We all want to see the team win. But I think deep down we know that this team still has work to do this offseason in order to get to the point where we could feel confident that they are in an NCAA tournament caliber roster. And we talked yesterday about a couple of their needs. They need guys in the portal that can defend, and they definitely need one more star in the transfer portal. And like I said yesterday, even if you are one of the people that are really optimistic and you believe Syracuse is already a tournament team, right? You believe that. Shout out to you. It wouldn't hurt to improve the team. Would you be against it if they added Jameer Watkins tomorrow? Not saying that's going to happen, but I don't think you would if they added Jameer Watkins from FSU tomorrow. I think you'd be feeling pretty good, even if you already think that they are a tournament team. Now, coming up, we'll talk about one target in particular that I think Syracuse should be going after, maybe a little bit under the radar. So stick with me here on Locked On Syracuse. As I stated earlier, Syracuse basketball still has 5 open scholarships remaining to use this offseason. Now, will they use all of them? Chances are they will not use all 15. Last year, for some context, back when it was only 13 scholarship players allowed, Syracuse used only 12 of them. So 12 of 13, if you will. At this point, Syracuse, they cannot look at that number 15 and say, we have to fill every single scholarship, because even those reserve players, that 14th and 15th guy off the bench, the guy that's going to maybe see 1 to 2 minutes a game, if that, they still cost money, and you're going to need that money to potentially pay your other players or maybe add an extra boost for a player that you want to get in the transfer portal that's actually going to play for you. So really, even though it is 5 open scholarships remaining, the way I would look at it is Syracuse is probably going to make 2 to 3 more portal additions this offseason. We talked about yesterday, one of them is going to have to be a star. The others are going to be players that have to defend. One player that we know Syracuse is interested in is Jerry Dang from FSU. He is a 6'9" forward. He can shoot really well. He is a career 38% three-point shooter. Not so much of a defender, though, and we'll explain more about that if and when Syracuse does land Jerry Dang. And the bottom line is this: they are not a Jerry Dang away from making the NCAA tournament. There is one player that I do believe that Syracuse should show interest in, and that is a big man from High Point. He is 7 feet, so for those that believe that Syracuse needs a big man to increase their size, well, I got a name for you all that I think Syracuse should pursue. It is Juslin Bodo Bodo. Juslin Bodo Bodo is someone who is actually a really good defender. Not just the principle of a good defender. No, he's actually a really good defender. He's 2-time Big South Defensive Player of the Year in just 2 seasons. So in both his seasons in college, Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. He's an elite shot blocker, career 1.7 blocks per game. And the metrics back up the eye test. The eye test will tell you that Bodo Bodo is a really good defender. Then you look at the advanced metrics and, hey, they match up. That's a good thing when those two things match up, right? He had an Evan Maya defensive rating last year of 1.98, which led the Big South Conference a year ago. What does 1.98 mean? It means that if you had 9 average Division I players on the floor and the 10th player was Juslin Bodo Bodo, the team with Bodo Bodo would be about 2 points better defensively than the other team per 100 possessions. As I have said before, and I will say again, the Evan Maya tool is essentially like wins above replacement in baseball. WAR, for those that do not know. So Juslin Bodo Bodo is a player that I believe Syracuse basketball should definitely pursue in the transfer portal. He's someone that can defend at a really high level. He also is someone that profiles that if you give him a little bit more minutes, he only averages about 20 per game. If maybe you give him 25 to 30, his scoring output would increase as well. This is someone who I really, really like. Who do you believe Syracuse should pursue in the transfer portal? Comment in the comment section below. As far as what is coming up on Locked On Syracuse in the future, there will be no podcast tomorrow. We will resume coverage on Sunday, whether we're talking some football or more transfer portal news. So stay tuned with that. Also, I am going to try to get someone on this podcast to talk about the spring game, because that is actually coming up tomorrow. There's a couple of issues with the spring game, though. Number one, it's not televised. And number two, I unfortunately cannot make the spring game this year because, well, Passover is here. And so we're celebrating that as a family tomorrow. So I will not be around to cover the spring game. All right. So hopefully we can get someone on the podcast to talk about it. Now, thank you for making Locked On Syracuse your first listen today. For your second listen, you can check out the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast with Damian Parson and Keith Sanchez. As your favorite collegiate players get ready for the next level, get the latest draft rankings, rumors, and news every day. Find Locked On NFL Draft on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Folks, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like this podcast, be sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoy the podcast, be sure to hit subscribe. Tell all your friends about Locked On Syracuse, and I will see you all again soon.